Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? Welcome to the Big Down. This is Bobby Hill. Hope everybody had a great day. I hope everybody had a great morning. Hoping they're, you know, started their week. This is Hump Day. Hope their week been going good so far. No, I always say, I hope you one step closer to your goals. Hope you one step closer to your dreams, or one step closer to whatever you're trying to get accomplished. That's positive. That is, you know. Sort of have me and I have to give a shout out. First of all, give a shout out to my wife, Sandra Hill. She's the reason. Like I said, she's the reason I'm doing this. I said the same thing. It's, there's no me doing this without her. So I always give my shout out, show my love. You know, that's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be, always. But yeah, we watched the game last night. A little disappointed. Oh man, I ain't a little disappointed. I'm disappointed in Victor. I give him praise whenever he does great. He is a phenomenal player. You know, he has the tools to be the best in the world. He actually has the tools to be the best ever. But, you know, something inside of him has to, you talk a good game and you tell us that you want to do this and do that. But there's times out in the court where, like last night, I ain't know no better. That's where he was point shaving. I swear he didn't take a shot in the first quarter. He took like 4 shots in the first half. He just wasn't being aggressive. The only one that seemed like that was really making shots in the first quarter was, what's the name, Champagne. And, Victor was, he was in the middle. He was, don't get me wrong, but he didn't make his presence felt last night. I felt like, Chet had he had a pretty good game last night, But still, I think the difference in that game last night was because Victor Wembanyama, his aggressiveness last night cost the San Antonio Spurs because that's what they needed. They needed him to put them on his back. As skinny as them shoulders is, that was the time he should have put them on his back and carried them to the victory. These are the moments that make superstars. Pivotal time. It's not all about, of course, everybody want, you want to get to the finals, the ultimate, you want to be the finals, MVP, all that stuff, but in, champions in the NBA. Hold on. Throughout the road to championship seasons and stuff, sometimes, a lot of times, there's journey throughout the journey. There's little moments where you have to step up. And this was that moment last night, pivotal game 5. They could have snatched control of the series and came home court advantage, and could have closed it out. That's that's where you have your games like formerly the game formerly known as the flu game. It's the damn food poisoning game. But with Jordan, game 5, a lot of game 5, the I think it too with Jordan, like the game 5 there, but that was the finals, okay. But one that wasn't the finals, the game 5 that I really think of that stepped up was when the Bulls were down 2-0 against New York, and they came back and won the 2 games and went back to New York. Pivotal game 5, and they had a defensive stand with Charles Smith, and they won that game, and they propelled them to win the series and go to the finals. Stuff like that. There are moments like that that separates the good teams from the great teams from the all-time great teams. And if San Antonio wants to take that step, like when they have moments like that, hopefully they haven't, hopefully this hasn't cost them their season, you know, or made it harder. I know they done made it harder. So because they have to win too. OKC, they have to take care of it. They take care of it tomorrow night, and it's all she wrote. But it's made it harder for them. Hopefully they come if they if this season, if they have that opportunity comes again, the only way they come again, if they win this and make it to the finals, hopefully they'll be able to step up and snatch it. When it's time to snatch that victory, they got to do it. Victor, if you got to put him on his back, if you got to take damn 30 shots, do it. Be aggressive. Stop sitting back here, selling for 3-pointers all the time. It's good that you shoot threes, but your bread and butter is down low. Can't nobody stop you. You can foul out the whole backcourt, the front court, if you're aggressive down low. And for San Antonio to take that next level, to be that championship team, Victor Wembanyama has to be a force down low. Offensively, he has to become a greater force down low other than just throwing up alley-oops. He has to develop some sort of, I ain't talking about that dribbling, spin, and throw it off the backboard and catch his own rebound. I mean, whatever. As effective that is, that can't be his go-to move. He needs something like a jump hook, damn fadeaway. I say he needs a jump hook. If he had a jump hook, you can't block it 7-4. A jump hook, just jump up in the air. Hook shot, jump hook. Couldn't nobody stop it. He could shoot that from anywhere down low, anywhere in the paint. He could shoot it. They couldn't stop him. Give him the ball, jump hook. But we'll see. But like I said, we'll see. It's interesting. The game of basketball, very unpredictable. We'll see. The two teams that are evenly matched, basically. It's a back and forth series. We'll see where this goes. And you got New York waiting in the background. I was one of the ones at first thinking that whoever comes out the West was going to automatically win it. I have to amend my statement. I don't think that now. I think the finals is going to be it may be an all-time great finals. I think it don't matter if it's San Antonio or if it's OKC. I think it's going to be an all-time great finals. Because of it's just the hunger from New York wanting New York been starving for a title since, you think about other than the Giants. I mean, you think about it's wrong. They have had a lot of titles. And as far as with basketball, they have had a title since, I think, what was it, 70 something. I think before I was born 75, I think, before then. Yes, and it's been a long time, so they are starving for it. So they have a chance. They see they're about to get it. It's going to be a lot of hoopla at the Madison Square Garden, at the Mecca. It's going to be, and you best believe that whoever they play, they're not going to allow them stars to fill up their stadiums like Cleveland did. That was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for, the Cavaliers, for the fans to allow, these people. I know they were stars. They probably paid a pretty penny. I can't say if I wouldn't have done it either. But still, if I would have done it, I would have been wrong too. You support your team, man. Should have been there, But like I said, it is what it is. You can't take it back, whatever. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, what people need to stop doing is putting all this faith in damn James Harden, man. I mean, James Harden is, he's a regular season. He's just a regular season scorer. Whatever. I don't know. He just, like I said, they play for the next contract. That's all he does. He's not going to give you championship level play. When the time that he could, he fell short. The most notable ones, people always bring up this time in Houston, Philadelphia, and Brooklyn, whatever, all that, whatever. I don't care about. I'm talking about when they was in OKC, when it was Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. And James Harden folded in the finals, and he's the reason why OKC didn't win the finals against the Heat that year. They could have won that if James Harden would have stepped up. And he gave. Little did everyone know that was a preview for things to come. And he has showed you. Been very consistent. That's the only thing he's been consistent about, that he will fold in the playoffs. But if James Harden is your best player or your second best player on the team, and then maybe a third best player, on the team, then and I don't know. And I know if he's your best player, your second best player, you probably not winning a title. Probably ain't no problem. You're not winning a title. That's evident. You know, your third best player, I don't know, because Brooklyn was pretty good, but this is unfortunate that Kevin Durant got some long feet. But that's the part of basketball. It happens. It happens. It happens. It happens. But yeah, I hope it. Like I said, hopefully it'll. Hopefully San Antonio can bounce back. Get their play defense, man. Get their stuff together defensively and stop. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it look like play out of control a little bit. Sometimes Castle. Sometimes I feel like he out of control. Maybe he is in complete control, but it appears that sometimes him and Fox be out of control. Like Fox will get to the lane and just don't know what to do. He get in the lane amongst some trees, like, what do I do now? That's what I get sometimes when I see Fox. It just they don't understand. I don't understand like why they aren't. They should be the ones that's up here trying to get. They should be the ones that's up here trying to get Wemby involved. They should be the ones that's trying to tell them, Wemby, hey, get down there, I'll get you the ball, stuff like that. They don't be trying to like set them up or get them, what's this, wait for him to go down there, or they'll see him out here in the 3-point line and tell him like, get down there, man, let me get you, man. They have to be the one to tell him like, get down there, man. I know you the superstar, you the man, but we win when you get to the damn hoop. Not sit out here and shoot threes and out here, trying to. You can't cross everybody up, man. When you get the ball, sometimes in that spin move, you leave the ball exposed. You get the ball knocked away from you. That's why you need to develop a jump hook or some sort of short, quick move, so you could be, you can be that more effective because you're long and the ball travels a long way from the hip up to the air. So that's a lot of opportunity for people to steal it, and that's what's happening, man. He needs a quick move. He needs something that's quick hitter. And he can dominate. Hopefully, the and then during the off season they'll do inventory of what's going on, and hopefully they'll see he'll work on that. Get Tim Duncan, get Tim and Big Dave Robson out here, help him out. Get Hakeem. He in Houston, but man, I know he'll help. He helped Kobe out, so I know he'll help him out. So yeah, it is all good.